All right, here we go with lesson 1.6, take 2. All right, so 39 says C is equal to 360 over n, and they want us to solve for n. All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do, because it's getting really uncomfortable here, is I'm going to get rid of that fraction. I hate them. They make me uncomfortable. So if I have an n on the bottom, in order to get rid of it, I have to put it on the top. When I do to one side, I do to the other. So C times n on the bottom, and on the top. Those cancel out, and I'm left with 360. All right, remember, I want to solve for n. N is still not by himself. He's hanging out with that C via multiplication. So the only way to undo that is division. So I divide both sides by C. And I get n is equal to, forgot the 0 up there, 360C. All right, now for the next one. S is equal to n over 2, A plus L, and they want us to solve for A. So I could distribute this in there to get rid of the parentheses, but that's going to be a nightmare. So instead, I'm going to look at this as n over 2 times A plus L. So these two are hanging out with multiplication, and I know I can undo multiplication with division. And how do I divide fractions? Well, I multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply it by 2 over n on this side. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So now I have an n on the top and an n on the bottom. They cancel. A 2 on the bottom and a 2 on the top. They're going to cancel. So I have 2 over n times s is equal to A plus L. All right, now we want, who did we want? Solve for A. All right, so we want A by himself. A still not by himself. There's that plus L hanging out with him, so let's get rid of him. Let's do minus L minus L. So we have 2 over ns minus L is equal to A. All right, is our A by himself? Yep, we're done. This is our answer. All right, now let's see 41. So the formula A equals D over G gives the average gas mileage of a vehicle, gives the average gas mileage A of a vehicle that uses G gallons of gas to travel D miles. Use the formula to find out how many gallons of gas a vehicle with an average gas mileage of 2.2 miles per gallon will travel 75 miles. All right, so let's see. Gas mileage is A. Gallons of gas is G. And distance in miles is D. And let's see which ones they give us here. They say the gas mileage is 2.2 miles. So A is going to be equal to, 20.2. And then they say travel 75 miles. So our distance is 75. And they want to find out how many gallons of gas that'll take. All right, well, you can do two things. You can either fill in what you know. So A is going to be 20.2 is equal to D, which is 75, over G, and solve for it that way. Hang on, guys. All right, and then you can solve for G that way. Or you can do A, which let's go ahead and solve for G that way so you can see. First thing I'm going to do is that I hate this fraction. It's bothering me. Let's get rid of it. Multiply both sides by G. So we have 20.2 g is equal to 75. Now my goal is to get g by himself. So I'm going to divide out this 20.2 on both sides. And I'm going to get 75 divided by 20.2. Whoa, that is a nasty number. And they want us to round to the nearest tenth. All right, so that gives me 3.7. The other way we could have done this, so pause here if you need to copy that because I'm about to erase it. Okay. Or not, or my eraser, there we go. All right. Or we can solve this equation for g first. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by g to get rid of that fraction. It's gross. So we have ag is equal to d. Now remember we want g by himself, so we divide out a. And we get g is equal to d over a. Oops. A, well we know what d is, it is 75. We know what a is, it is 20.2. And that is going to give us about 3.7. Same answer both ways. And that's it for section 6.